Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 22 with me, Dan, and the BMW Slothz team. It's reliability time. We're going to go for the final turbocharger durability upgrade and start on towards the season break, but we've already encountered an issue there with one of the reliability upgrades. It's the internal combustion engine, which we cannot afford to restart because we've used up all of our points already, so we've got no choice but to continue on through to the season break, where we get a powertrain department issue. Do we want to gain morale and lose cash, or just decline? Well, we're going to do it because at this point we don't need the money next season, do we? Because that will be on the next game, F1 23. Subscribe to see that. One more completed reliability upgrade and the season break begins, with just a few days to go through until we hit Belgium. There we go. And off to the race we go with practice. Again, grabbing as many of these points as possible, avoiding the really long race strategy options at the start. It turns out that they're quite lengthy compared to the others. It might be more efficient to do more upgrades, but aim for the other two if track acclimatization is on there. But we're going to have to go for this fuel efficiency one, which unsurprisingly we don't get. And on to P2 we go. We'll grab this one, which takes up nearly half of the P2 time. Back over to find some points somewhere. They don't seem to be anywhere at the moment, these 60-point ones. So we get some breaks. Can't do this one yet because we haven't got enough time. And so we're basically stuck with doing this 50% one with the gearbox, which we don't really need. And it fails anyway. Not great. Finally onto P3. Still looking for some 60 points. It looks like we're not going to get them. So it's which of these fuel efficiency upgrades takes the least amount of time. One of them's there, we get it. Another fuel efficiency upgrade coming in now, which fails, unsurprisingly. We're going to go for this 50% one, which we do get fantastically, and that is pretty much all we can do in this session. Finally, before we get into the race, it's time to run over to the durability department and just restart this ICE internal combustion upgrade. Okay then, it's on to Belgium. We've missed out here on the win, somehow. We did start on pole position last season, but due to the weather, lost out in the end, switching to the intermediate tyres. So we'll have to try and finish this one at the front, if we can. Anyway, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell as well, so you know when all of these races are uploaded. And of course, you'll get to know in a few weeks' time who has won the championship. Watch out for that one on what I believe is Monday, the 12th of June. Going to be an exciting one, I hope. Onto the starting grid though for Belgium, and on the front row we have Lando Norris, once again, half a second faster than P2 driver Max Verstappen. Clearly quite a dominant driver here at this circuit. I mean, he is part Belgium, I believe. Then we have Fernando Alonso, and then me started in fourth again, Sergio Perez and Carlos Sainz. Charles Leclerc and Robert Schwartzman, followed by Lance Stroll and Kevin Magnussen into the top 10. We have George Russell and Oscar Piastri, Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly, Dan Ticktum and Liam Lawson, Alex Albon and Mick Schumacher. Behind them, Nicholas Latifi and Joe Guan Yu, and finally, Teo Porcher with a penalty alongside Yuki Tsunoda, also with a penalty. Not being the day for Teo Porcher, not today, and not the previous two races either. Now, this is his third incident. Only this time he has to start right from the back in Belgium. Well, hopefully he's got the car underneath him to propel him up the field a little bit before the end of this race. There are the Drivers' Championship, still quite far behind Lando Norris, but not an impossible target to catch him before the end of the season. We'll just have to see how things go in this race and the following ones that come after it. So we come to Spa once again. Still unable to get a win here. Can we get it this time? We had a good chance last season. We're going to have a good chance this season. Into turn 1 we go. Already losing the place to Sergio Perez. Max Verstappen and Fernando Alonso fight up ahead. But Fernando Alonso's going for a move on the race leader, Lando Norris. He failed to get past at the end of the last race in France. Can he do it here in Spa? We're following Sergio Perez, who managed to get past us in turn 1. Alonso makes a move to the outside on Norris at the end of the Kemmel Straight. He's gone up the inside. Can he hold it? He's sliding all over the place. No, Lando Norris still holds the lead at Belgium. And into the downhill sections we go. Everyone bunching up quite a lot behind us. Look at the compacted field on the mini-map. This was the start for Fernando Alonso. Weaves all over the place there. And then up the inside, gets some contact with the front right wheel of Lando Norris, and then it's a drag race up to Eau Rouge, which somehow Lando Norris has gains a load of speed there. I wonder if Alonso lifted. And then this was this attempt around the outside. Gets over the curb, loses the rear, and unfortunately that allowed Norris to just pick up a little bit of extra speed to dive it down the inside. We rejoin at the end of lap 1. Sergio Perez just ahead of us. He lifts through Blanchimont. We're going to go right up to the back of him, alongside him into the bus stop chicane. And we run a little deep there, not because of locking up like last season, but just because we had to try and slow the car down quite a lot. And we're past him, which brings us back into our starting position of P4. Looking down the field, I can't really see if anyone else has actually moved around too much. This is Perez watching us. Yeah, there he did lift through there. Then let's have a look at what he does. Weaving all over the place there, but what do you expect from the AI these days? Gets pushed out, or decides to go out onto the curb and the white line, and just loses all of his traction and ultimately loses the place. Here we are then, following the other Red Bull Porsche of Max Verstappen, coming down to the same corner. He's going to lift. We know it's going to happen. He lifts. We go to the inside. Now the outside for the bus stop chicane. Hard on the brakes. He brakes a little later, but then we swoop round the outside now down the inside, and we're just about ahead of the Red Bull Porsche. Yes, we do take away P3, and we also pick up the fastest lap, just for good measure there, without the DRS yet as well, I might add. Through turn 1 we go. Alonso still trying to catch up to the race leader, half a second down at the moment. His teammate Robert Schwartzman just about hanging on to some points in 9th. And as we come down now, I'm sensing this is an early pit stop for us. Yes, it is. In we go for the medium tyre, which will take us to the end of this race. Who else is joining us? Looks like Lance Stroll is going to come into the pits as well. The only 2 drivers so far to blink and come in. Oh, Aston Martin is expected, but we don't know who. Presumably, if Mick Schumacher doesn't gain a place, then he's come in. And yes, it looks as though it was Mick Schumacher, as Zhou Guanyu just goes by right there, along with some of the other back markers. So on board we go for chasing down Zhou Guanyu. And to the outside we go. Touch on the grass, so you see the dust get flicked up, but we get past him in the left righter, or the right lefter, or the extended chicane, or whatever you want to call it. Round we go. Lando Norris is coming to the pit, so this has to be a good outlap. In total, but we do have a Williams ahead of us, who will be lifting even more than the cars that we've been racing so far. Albon goes defensive into the bus stop, weaves all over the place. He's going to stay out on his soft tyres. That pink Williams, definitely a force to be reckoned with, at least in the hands of Alex Albon. We dive to the inside at turn 1. Albon doesn't turn in on us, which I'm eternally grateful for, but he is going to fight it as we get past Fernando Alonso, who's clearly missed out significantly with us coming in so early. And we go ploughing past Albon up Eau Rouge. Lando Norris chases down Yuki Tsunoda up ahead, but this is probably his only opportunity to get past for the next few corners. Will he make a move on Tsunoda? No, he does not. He's going to stay behind him. As I saw in the far distance there, some chaos ensuing as people are trying to get past other back markers. We'll find out what's going on there in a moment when we catch up. Oh, look, it's Nicholas Latifi, and I think that's Liam Lawson as well, driving around at the back, or what is currently the midfield. Down the hill we go then. Tsunoda still holding position. He hasn't come in yet, so those tyres will be screaming to be taken off and chucked in the bin as Norris tries to crash into the barriers. On board with us now. Alonso also stuck. He's behind Albon. And now we've caught up to the back of Nicholas Latifi. This is a recipe for disaster. Now Nicholas Latifi's involved, so we're going all-out attack here. Down towards Blanchimont. Norris tries the inside for some reason. Leaves a gap for us on the outside. We go swooping round at the lift there for the first time this race. Tsunoda gives us space on his left-hand side. Latifi is locked up, and we follow Tsunoda through. We give space to Latifi. I'm not sure if he's coming into the pit lane, but I hope he doesn't hit us with the DRS open. Latifi is following. Somehow is still ahead of Lando Norris behind us, and we will continue to chase. We've got Liam Lawson up ahead as well. He'll be holding up the field. I'm not sure who that last car is. Looks like it might be Teo Pourchaire. Yes, it is. Kevin Magnussen is currently leading the race, but he started on the mediums, I think. This is on board with Latifi. You can see us trying to make a move on Tsunoda there, but not succeeded. Latifi gets the DRS somehow, and he's going to challenge Lando Norris along the Camel Straight. Oh my God, Latifi's done it! He's stayed ahead of Lando Norris in the BMW. Fernando Alonso's probably thinking, what on earth are you doing, Lando Norris? We used to be teammates, and now you can't even get past a Williams. The Williams is still the worst car on the grid, besides the Aston Martin, so how that was possible, I have absolutely no idea. But Latifi still ahead as we come to the closing stages of the lap. We're going to go up the inside of Liam Lawson. Just completely disrespected him there. No need to have even bothered to overtake, because I expect he'll be coming into the pit lane anyway. There's Teo Pourchaire, our former teammate. Lawson comes in following Pourchaire. Tsunoda's in as well, and that just leaves Kevin Magnussen at the front of the field. Let's go on board with Norris. I'm assuming he's just gotten past Latifi. Closing in on him, goes to the inside and thinks about it, thinks some more, and then gets the move done. But you can already see, look how far ahead we are right now. And this is Sergio Perez, retired from this race last season after giving us severe lung disease. Coming down towards the bus stop chicane, we're going to see a move on Verstappen. No, he's triggered a yellow flag. He's retiring again. The second Belgian Grand Prix in a row as Charles Leclerc attempted to just crash into him. And Sergio Perez is off the side of the circuit, and we rejoin on the final lap because look, but Lando Norris has still not been able to get within DRS range of us. Alonso, half a second behind. Will he once again follow Lando Norris to the finish line, or will he actually try and make a move on him? I'm not sure who holds the fastest lap right now, but hopefully it's us. We'll gain another 8 points over our villainous teammate as we go blasting down the Camel Straight into the chicane at the top of the hill, and then we begin the roller coaster down towards the finish line. We go. You could almost do skiing on this circuit if it snowed here, couldn't you? The steepness probably wouldn't be a good idea on a Formula 1 car, or maybe it would if you put skis on the tyres as well. But as we come down, Norris now 2 seconds behind. We're clearly going for a fastest lap here. We go a little bit wide over the grass. Presumably then, someone else has the fastest lap right now, and we're just trying to either guarantee that we get it, or try and defend it. As we come through into the final sector, Norris again losing time to us. He is closing up a little bit, but for the most part, sticking around 2+ seconds. Alonso is closing in. Maybe he'll go for a move before the end of the race. Doesn't look like it, though. And we come into the bus stop chicane for the final time. What's our time going to be? Are we going to have the fastest lap? We're going to have to watch the wheel, I think, potentially, or just watch the results at the end of this. We crossed the line. I saw purple on the mini-map that flashed up for a second, but that could have been the final sector rather than the fastest lap. We'll just have to find out. But that is another victory for us. Finally winning the Belgian Grand Prix after 2 failed attempts to try and win this race. And there we are. Not sure where this overcast has come from, but I guess the weather can change pretty quick here in the Ardennes Forest. But there we go. Celebrations all around once again. BMW now 11 races, 1 out of 16. Incredible result. And there we go. Another trophy for the trophy cabinet. We're going to have to order a whole new facility just to hold all of these trophies. But for now, though, let's get on with the race results. And here we are with the race results. Yes, we did, in fact, get the fastest lap, which makes another 8 points that we gain on Lando Norris. We're joined once again by Fernando Alonso and followed by Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, Lance Stroll, Robert Schwartzman, George Russell and Kevin Magnussen. Over to the Drivers' Championship, we're now just 35 points behind our teammate Lando Norris. Behind us are Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Sergio Perez, Robert Schwartzman, Carlos Sainz, George Russell, and Lance Stroll moves up into the top 10. Further down the order, we have Liam Lawson, Pierre Gasly, Esteban Ocon, Kevin Magnussen jumps up to tie with 14th with Yuki Tsunoda. Then we have Alex Albon as the final point scorer. He's followed by Oscar Piastri, Nicolas Latifi, Teo Pourchaire, Zhou Guanyu, Mick Schumacher and Dan Ticktum. Over to the Constructors' Championship, no changes across the field, but we're followed by Red Bull, McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes, Alpine, AlphaTauri, Haas, Williams, Audi and Aston Martin. That's all for now. We'll catch you tomorrow from Monza.